everyone, and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, extra tanky infantry takes on extra tanky cavalry as Barles, playing as the Vikings in blue, gets ready to take on Mr. Yo, playing as the Franks in red. Now, all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings, which are Dunesprings. I'm going to zoom out for a real quick second. We are on Empire Wars yet again on one of the new maps introduced for Red Bull Wolo El Reinado. And while the players try to get their butts up to Castle Age ASAP, why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today, because I'm hoping we're going to get to see lots of infantry take on lots and lots of cavalry. Now, the Vikings are a powerful infantry civilization. Starting in Feudal, all of their infantry come with 20% more HP and can be upgraded to both get a decent attack bonus against cavalry. Might be bad news bears for Mr. Yo, and also generate gold when they kill enemy villagers, monks, and trade units. A little bit of damage already done to the villager, but a spearman should shoot that scout away. Now, all of these upgrades definitely help with their unique unit, the Berserker. This is a durable, strong infantry unit whose health automatically regenerates, I believe, at 40 HP per minute. Now, to support their infantry, the Vikings can also upgrade their archer line units to get a small +1 attack boost. Economically, their economy hits the ground running. Man-o-man does it in Feudal and in Castle, because they get both the wheelbarrow and the handcart upgrade free of charge. Let's take a look at the Franks, whose cavalry is already pressing into the eastern flank of the Viking settlement here. I will not pay your Dane gold, says Mr. Yo, as, okay, never mind. The cavalry heads home. Why? Because there's a scuffle on the eastern shores of the pond. Now, the Franks are the OG cavalry civilization, harkening all the way back to the first Age of Empires 2. Their knights come with extra line of sight. All of their mounted units, like Viking infantry, also get 20% extra HP starting in Feudal, and their stables can be upgraded to work 40% faster. Looks like Mr. Yo getting the first two trashy kills of the game as a couple of nonchalant turtles. Watch the carnage. Creepy turtles. There's a lot of turtles, and they are doing a lot of loop-de-loops, as it looks like Barles does manage to get his first kill. A Frankish scout lies dead. In any event, to support their cavalry, the Franks can turn to their unique unit, the Throwing Axeman. This is a ranged melee unit that, as it sounds, throws a giant, massive war axe at its opponents. In order to train as many of these as humanly possible, Frankish castles do come at a discount: 15% less stone in Castle Age and 25% less stone in Imperial. Economically, the Franks do get two food-related bonuses. Their foragers, I was trying to look at here, but their foragers are not here. They are to the back of your base. Their foragers work 15% faster, and they get all mill upgrades for free. So two somewhat interestingly mirrored civilizations plural rather. And it looks like we've got a full-on Feudal Age battle. We are not rushing up to Castle Age. We are firmly invested in early game shenanigans here. Kill count 4-1. Somehow always seems to be 4-1, 5-1, 3-1, 6-1. In these stages of the game. Now it's 5-1, 7-1. Okay, so Mr. Yo starting to run away a bit with the kill count, but of course, right as I open my big yap, Barles gets 4 kills of his own. Unfortunately for him, does lose the rest of his expeditionary force here. Now the Franks are left with 11 army count, both players sitting at the exact same villager count for a hot second at 41, and our Viking already heading up to the next age. Our Frank still needs 300 food and 50 gold. He has invested in a dock. Now, I should point out, because there is an element of water, and anytime there's an element of water, you never know. Maybe, fingers crossed, we'll get to see the second unique unit of the Vikings. This is basically a Kipchak, a Chukanu on the water. Talking about the longboat. Fires, I believe, 4 arrows. Only the first one does full damage, and does have an attack bonus against ships. So if Barles decides at some point to contest the water, hopefully we get to see that. By the way, Viking docks are also cheaper, and all of their warships get progressively cheaper in Feudal, Castle, and Imperial. Although, I say the word progressive, I think they're 15% cheaper in Feudal, 15% cheaper in Castle, and then in Imperial, they jump up to 20%. And so we'll see whether or not the water is contested. For now, it is absolutely not. 12 seconds away from Castle Age. Our Viking is going to have basically a 2-minute head start in the more powerful age. Mr. Yo, will he run home with his army? No. So far, he is just hanging out here. trying to keep the pressure on Barles' side of the map. Why the hell not? He needs to kill. 1 minute and 30 seconds. He's ahead 8 villagers, but we'll see how long he can last here. Barles is going for elite skirmisher, which should be able to absolutely wreck the basic skirmishers and maybe even scouts of his opponent. As okay, forget the skirmishers versus a scout. There's already a Viking knight out. No bloodlines for the Vikings means that actually in one of the rare matchups that I've seen, it is the Frankish knight, if we're going to see a Frankish knight in 45 seconds, that actually has more HP. Generally in Castle Age, when knights come out, bloodlines gets researched and the knights go from 100 HP to 120, and at that point the Franks, if they pump out their knights with automatically 120, they're kind of on par with a bloodline knight. In this case, the knights don't have bloodlines, so we'll see what kind of damage they can get done, if any. 20 extra HP is a pretty big deal. That is a 20% swing in HP. Ooh, so you're talking about swings. There's not enough room in this tower. You're not a Teuton tower. And so we'll see. He does get 2 villagers already. Oh, before he gets the 3rd, or maybe he did get the 3rd. The knight does ultimately bite the dust. Tower should be able to shoo away these skirmishers, even though they have got some pretty decent pierce armor. Cannot, I repeat, cannot take on a tower on their own. There's husbandry for our Frank, horse collar for our Viking, 2 extra town centers, decent location next to the stone, very aggressive location next to the water. Okay, so Barles, our Viking, is expanding outwards. Oh, it looks like there's that first villager that died. Okay, so 2 did die up there and 1 down there. And here we go, the Frankish knights are out. Take a look at that, 120 HP without the need to research bloodlines. Not that they could, even if they wanted to. The Franks do not get that upgrade, just like the Vikings. So like I said, a very strangely mirrored civilization battle that we've got going on here. Some very powerful economic bonuses. I mean, don't sleep on foragers working 15% faster. I believe when they work 15% faster, they... Oh, no! There is a gap in the defenses. That is very sour there for our Viking. Okay, send the villager, plug the hole. For now, though, just getting some scouting. Remember, the Nightline units for the Frank do come with extra HP. Sorry, not... I mean, obviously, they come with extra HP. They come with extra line of sight, which is why they are seeing so freaking much here. Ooh, this pikeman instead of 60. Oh, no, he dies with 66 HP. And pivot back outwards. I was thinking of the Viking Berserker for a second when I was looking at the pikeman. I was going to say about the regeneration, but no. I had a complete brain fart there as, oh my goodness, more and more scouting by the Frank, who sees the dock. The dock, which, by the way, has a longboat in it. All right. Let's see it. There is 1 fire galley. Nothing else out for our Frank. And there we go. This is the battle I was talking about. Extra HP, extra tanky infantry, extra tanky cavalry. Let's see it on a much broader scale as a monk and a pikeman both got here. But town center should be enough to take care of these knights. What are the upgrades? Only +1 armor on those Frankish knights. And so even now in the early stages of castle, they are fairly weak. And there are the multiple arrows of the water Chukanu. This one kill? Yeah, this one managed to kill that fishing ship. Ooh, fire galley chases the monk. I think he got the monk. Yeah, I think that fire galley got the monk and then he got killed by the knights. By the gentlemanly knights of the Franks. 3 longboats are out. That is all that he thinks he needs at the moment. Not training anymore, not building anymore. Fire galley gets surrounded. Oh, the multiple arrows, even with all that armor, even with the lightning attack of the fire galley, it still does die as the Franks now chase away our Viking. What is the game plan here? Let's take a look at the Viking settlement as he gets chased in on the right side here. More Frankish knights are trying to raid, but okay, our Viking sees that immediately. Did he plug up the gap here? I'm wondering. I don't know if he did or not. For now, the game plan seems to be pikemen and skirmishers. Why skirmishers? Maybe he's got some invested from before when he thought the Frank was going to go archers. I really don't know why he still has these two skirmishers. I'm glad that he's not upgrading them anymore. And here comes a Viking castle. Decent location next to the water makes it a little bit exposed, perhaps, to the Franks, but not the end of the world. We've seen a lot of pro players build their castles here along these turtle-rich shores, only to lose them in the later stages of the game. First of all, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see if the castle even goes up. 4 knights slaughter the entire construction force, stuck at exactly a quarter of the way there. The villagers with their nets, they don't want any part of this construction project. They know whoever goes to this site dies. It looks like, speaking of dying, the longboats died to these probably fire galleys. 3 kills for you. More longboats are being trained, though. Here we go. Some pikemen to support, but 3 pikemen. Even 5 against this horde of knights. What did you get it up to now? Okay, added another 600 HP to the castle. All right, so let's see it incrementally. 600 HP at a time. Up a unit, up a unit. And then eventually your $5 pass line bet turns into a $300. And who knows, maybe you'll hit that lucky 7. Maybe you'll hit that 11. An extra town center, a 4th for our Frank, who already has 2 in pretty decent locations. This one's kind of forward, but pretty safe from the water. And our Viking has to make a decision here. Does he continue to invest in water, or maybe he just converts his opposing naval units? Why are you hanging out over here when the battle's over here? Get your asses into the battle. But they escape to the safety of the castle. Fire galleys are going to have to chase. Their range is absolutely terrible. So maybe this blue ship should go down here. But another conversion. Fantastic by our Vikings so far, who places a very defensive castle. This one will definitely go up, so forget about plugging the hole. I don't know if he did. Oh my goodness, speaking of a hole, there's another gap in the Viking defenses. He's got the outpost. There's no excuse for this being open here with that outpost there. I thought maybe the house with the vision couldn't see it, but bye-bye, pikemen. You had one job, and your job was to die in the face of any kind of aggression. Maybe stop it. You did not succeed there, but die you did. 10 kills on these knights. How many villagers? 3. 1 longboat attacks a mill. The others are patrolling the shores. Is Mr. Yo building anything here? No, he is not. Our Viking, though, is going up to Imperial. His army, a bunch of pikemen, a bunch of monks. So he's setting up to fight a big cavalry force. And there it is. 12 knights. Are they all here? Yeah, this is the entire offensive capability of our Frank at the moment, who with Town Watch delays going up to Imperial by a little bit of food. 2 minutes away from Imperial is our Viking. What infrastructure? Okay, so more barracks. So he's going to transition now. It kind of sucks for the Vikings not to get halberdiers. I get why they don't, obviously. Especially now that they've got the chieftain upgrade, where it'll add a +5 attack against cavalry. More conversions by our Viking. I want to see the conversion count at the end of the game. But it does kind of suck against the Franks. I mean, they're paladins. If we're lucky enough to see paladins, I'm assuming we are going to see paladins. Mr. Yo is heading up to Imperial. He's got the resources for Cavalier at the moment. 19 villagers on gold. He doesn't have a handcart yet, though. I mean, I shouldn't say I'm assuming we're going to see paladins. Never assume anything with these high elo games. Who knows? But 20 pikemen are on the menu for our Viking. Imagine a halberdier with that 32 attack bonus, and on top of that, a 5 attack bonus, and on top of that, 20% more HP. Slaughter underneath here. Looks like a light cavalry unit and a knight. Did he save the monk? Yes, he did. At least one of the 2 monks saved. The other one down here died to the light cav. And Mr. Yo, gold mining, stone mining, handcart. And he's getting infantry upgrades? For what? Oh my goodness, he's going throwing axemen. Well, that certainly is one way to deal with pikemen. Absolutely an amazing way to deal with pikemen. Let's see it. One of the most underutilized units in the game. Oh my god, I'm blabbing about the throwing axemen. It looks like our Frank is absolutely tearing through the Viking countryside here, killing so many villagers. It was 20 a second ago. Now it's 24, 25. The pikemen step in, though. They are enough together with this castle to shoo away the knights. Another one falls, but that was about as bad as it could get there for the Viking. A total of 25 villagers killed to the 9 of his opponent. Look at Mr. Yo's kills. He's got 37 more kills than his opponent, more than 50%. But his opponent, first to Imp, first to Trebs, has 2 castles, another Treb popping out. What are you doing? Conscription at the moment. I always love on Dunesprings when the, I think I pointed out last time we watched a game on this map, when the villagers run out of places to go, they all kind of congregate near the same watering hole and they start getting the same shorefish, or in this case, box turtles. Where are the Trebs for our Frank, who, by the way, speaking of conversions, managed to convert a longboat here, not repairing it, doesn't need to. It looks like the water component of this map is dead. When we first started watching this map, like all hybrid maps of water and land, a few weeks ago, I really questioned what we were going to see in terms of naval, and some of the games, the navies have participated, but on the whole, it seems like these players that we've watched so far have decided to make this more a land map. Another Treb going for the town center here. Our Frank, by the way, still on the 4 town centers. Our Viking, 1, 2, 3 town centers, 3 castles. Emergency castle for our Frank. Where are the throwing axemen? Okay, they're congregated, huddled in a little box in front of that castle. 4 archers. Are we gonna get to see a archer transition? I think we are. There's bracer, there's ballistics. I mean, these apply to the castle as well, so I shouldn't get too... Okay, never mind. There's crossbow. Oh my goodness, is he gonna try to go arbalests? Now, without thumb ring, they're a little slower. But, oh, okay, this is why he's going... I mean, why not skirmishers then? Interesting. Interesting choice out of our Viking. So he's gonna try to augment his pikemen with a whole band of crossbows, and I'm assuming he doesn't have the resources for it. Actually, maybe he does. He's selling wood to go up to arbalests. No, he sold it all to go get chemistry. What's happening here? Throwing axemen. Looks like they took out a few pikemen, and a horsey boy are now taking out the eyeballs of the opponent. Uh-oh. Well, who will get the conversion here? 1 converted axeman. Oh, that's a hand cannoneer. This is, by the way, still an infantry unit, so it has infantry armor, which means this hand cannoneer does plus 10 attack against it. And there's the arbalest upgrade. And there's the paladin upgrade. Oh my god, things could not have just gone more sour for our Viking. Mr. Yo hiding his cavalry. By hiding, I mean there are no more cavalry units left for him. They're all dead. He is just now training one of them. But if he can get the cavalry numbers up, he's going to hit paladin with like 400 gold in the bank. So what is that? Like 5, 6, not even 6 paladins? Throwing axemen move in, throwing axemen die, but the castle does fall. Monsieur's going up to 7 cavaliers and 3, 2, 1. Now they are 7 paladins, and now I'm starting to get a little worried for our Viking. He's got only 9 pikemen going up to 10 upgrades. Okay, I love that Barles focused on the armor upgrades first. The attack upgrade, the plus 22 against cavalry, is what it is. You don't need any more attack. You need armor. You need to keep your guy alive as long as possible so that he can poke the horse with the stick for as long as possible. Bomber cannon gets picked off right as the villager passes him. But uh-oh, now he sees the paladins, and now he must be thinking, ah, shit. Ah, damn it. I am about to get overrun here, and pikemen are great. Pikemen are fun. 20% extra HP. I don't think he got the chieftain upgrade. And yeah, there you go. Oh man, what an absolute disastrous transition. I get why he did it. I get why he did it with the hand cannoneers coming out, but wow. How many barracks did he die with, by the way? Only 5, yeah. So you can't even keep up really production. You need to, how many Viking pikemen do you need to take on a Frankish paladin? 3 to 1. And if you see how many are there here, 16. How the hell did Mr. Yo afford 16? I thought he would hit paladin with a lot less gold, but he's got a 57 on food, 12 on gold. So he is running out of gold, it looks like. And so he needed to hit hard, but he's expanding out on the map. By the way, this is a very resource rich map, and it looks like he's hitting the Viking expansion here to the left as well. By the way, out of the 5 barracks, no, they can't be. There must be more than 5. Yeah, 7. Okay, so 5 in the eastern front, 2 in the western front. But Mysterio's in no risk of running out of gold. It looks like his initial gold is running out, but now he's able to expand onto the side. And by the way, very safely expand off to the side with 1, 2, 3 entire patches of gold. That's 9 times 800 gold, 7,200 gold for our Frank, whose paladins are out, fully upgraded, by the way, with blast furnace. So Mysterio really waiting until he got those upgrades in before he absolutely overwhelmed his opponent. And overwhelm he does. Again, all of the resources invested into this unit, should they have gone instead to build a more infantry focused army with chieftains, 600 food, I think 450 gold for that upgrade. So Barles kind of can afford it. 888 gold. Ooh, man, Barles should go buy a lottery ticket. That is a good gold count to end the game on. But he, with chieftains, probably could have done a little bit more damage. Unfortunately, though, these paladins just revealed themselves. Mr. Yo playing the cards very close to his vest, not revealing the paladins right up until they were on the front lines. And our Viking just didn't have the vision. And because he didn't have the vision, this tank came out. His pikemen tried, look at this, tried to form a little circle here. What is going on in the air, by the way? A vulture, a stork, everything's flying overhead here. And they just got absolutely charged down, just as heavy cavalry is designed to do. They are on their destrier horses. They are charging and killing everything in their path. 44 against 71. Yeah, obviously the 44 beat this. This is not even 2 to 1. So I don't think the Frankish paladin has anything to worry about. 37 arbalest, 23 hand cannoneers. I love the hand cannoneers by Mr. O. It's a very tricky situation. You get the hand cannoneers for the infantry, then your opponent goes archers to counter your hand cannoneer, so you go knights or knight line units to counter everything that the Viking has. I would have loved to maybe see some berserkers out raiding to the back, but there was very little raiding done. At the end of the day, 28 villagers kills to 18, and Mr. Yo with almost double the total kill count here just overwhelms, patiently bides his time until he gets to Imperial. And even though our Viking, I think, had like 2 minutes in Imperial ahead of his opponent, was able to take down a castle and 2 town centers, just not able to seal the deal once that Frankish war machine got underway. Let's take a look at the stats. Yeah, the Viking economy, about 10% smaller, wood and gold. Well, there's your archers, food and stone. There's your paladin and your castles. Relic gold. Of course, Mr. Yo has 4 relics. Of course, it's a foregone conclusion. 8 conversions out of 111 is like what, 7% of the Viking army, and a 7% including, by the way, naval, which is fantastic. Oh, there's chivalry as well. So Mr. Yo, I didn't even notice that he researched chivalry. Amazing. How many stables does he end the game with? Chivalry is basically like perfusion, a little bit weaker. Not a little bit, a lot of bit weaker. 7 stables pumping out units at 40% faster speeds is the same thing as having, what, 10 stables? 9.8 stables? Wow, just an absolute epic situation here for Mr. Yo. Unfortunately, our Viking pivoted, spent a lot of resources on these glorified crossbowmen. Do they at least have Boggs Vagar? No, they don't. Actually, yeah, I think I saw him get chemistry, right? Let's take a look at the castle. Yeah, so he's got chemistry, so that means no Boggs Vagar. So neither of the 2 upgrades for the Viking, which both would have been, I mean, obviously both, but either one would have been fantastic in this case. Either chieftains to deal with this, or Boggs Vagar to deal with this. Boggs Vagar, sorry, I should explain, is the one that adds a +1 attack to their arbalests and to their longboats. Did he die with any longboats, any player? No. So even the converted longboat here died. But ultimately, wow, our Frank with the late game pivot to Paladins, and now all of a sudden, as much as our Viking has kept up economically in terms of villager count, yeah, he doesn't have the numbers, and most importantly, he doesn't have the units, the strength in those numbers and in the units that he needs. He's missing key upgrades, and so he just immediately perishes. I mean, how long did it take those Paladins to go through these pikemen? Seconds? And that's the front line of defense. This castle's about to fall to 3 trebuchets. I like that he sniped the BBC. That was a good get. That saves the Arbalest the trouble of having to run around a lot. But ultimately, with the castle down, it is a complete open turf, open hunting season all the way to the center of the Viking settlement. And Mr. Yo says, you besiege Paris. You want me to pay you a ransom? Take your Dane gold. Go to hell. And with his late game pivot to Franks, with the cool use of the hand cannoneer, which we're seeing more and more of in the games that I've been watching lately, and ultimately missing the key upgrades, our Viking can't keep up. He taps out, lives to fight another day. Mr. Yo takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.